As far as that shit, like I said, going back towards the country, I've seen us spend more money as far as bringing up the homelessness. I've lived in Missouri, I've lived in Arizona for a little bit, I've lived in Virginia for a little bit. So I feel like I got a little nice diversity as far as that. I feel like we invested more money as far as taking care of our own people. I feel like we're investing more money into.
Welcome back into another video. This is season 5, episode 5. As we do get in depth with the questioning. Who am I originally here with?
Jalen Smith,
Where are you from?
Dallas, Texas.
So what brings you into this atmosphere of aviation?
Oh, I really like airplanes and shit. I just want to strengthen up my knowledge about it and go into more careers with it.
So you want to further your understanding of how stuff works?
Yeah, and then get certified for it, so I got a permanent license for it, for sure.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years, particularly yourself?
Within 5 years, I want to see myself a part of a big corporation where I'm able to learn from other avionics techs and start my journey from there.
How does that look like a year from now?
A year from now, I plan to be further in my blocks. Hopefully, I'm in my airframe, my power plant block, and I actually on the side might have an internship, so I'm able to get that hands-on experience while still in school.
So as we do progress in the questioning and the answer. So what is the biggest motivation that keeps you from thriving?
Oh, what keeps me thriving is I have a daughter, so for her, I just want to set a good example and a firm foundation for her to build upon that foundation. But then also for myself, I kind of like the atmosphere of it's a lot of black people that have been in that field and been successful in that field and made a name for the field, and I just want to have my name in that list.
So you want to keep the wave continuous?
Yeah.
So elaborate, walking into this industry and already being prepped. What do you think your advantages is from people that does not know this even exists?
Well, for myself, I feel like it just puts you in the mind space of, day in and day out, you got to bring in the same preparation as being a student while retaining the same information as being a mechanic. And what I mean by that is just further depth is I want to be able to, damn, I forgot the question.
So the question is what makes this industry different from others?
What makes it different from others personally is just the hands-on experience on what you're dealing with and the fact that there's only a certain percentage of the population that could actually do, let alone the even smaller percentage of people that actually thrive in that field.
So the furthest question that you get in depth with the question, what made you choose this avenue after you graduated high school, or after what made you get in this industry?
For myself, just being different. The section of town that I'm from, you don't hear too many airplane mechanics, let alone avionics, specialized mechanics coming from. So I kind of just want to be different, setting an example for the other kids that might be in the same position I'm in.
So as we do get dealt with the question, man. So how do you feel about abortion?
How do I feel about abortion? To be honest, I think it's case by case.
So you feel like it should be woman's choice?
I believe so, yes.
So we do live in a state where it's banned, and you go to California and get the law is that it's left to the states. So what I mean by that is that it's out of the federal hands, federal government hands. So what are your thoughts on that? Should it be left in the federal hands, or should it be left to states how it is now?
Personally, I think it should be left in the states because each state has its own challenges that I feel like federally they maybe can't cover all together with just a blanket solution to it. So technically, I do feel like the states are a little bit more equipped to deal with their each problems.
So you feel like the overall vote should be left to the state?
Definitely.
So the next question, it follows into the next question. How do you feel about the people who has influence, power, glory? Basically, how do you feel about the people who does nothing for the community where there are public figures? I said, so how do you feel about the people who have political power or money or influence that does nothing for their community?
How do I feel about them? I mean, it's kind of like to each his own, because everybody that gives back isn't a good person. Everybody that doesn't is a bad person.
So it matters person to person. So like as we do like get up with the questioning, man. So like, where do you see like this country in the next 4 years? Like today is election day, and
Um, as far as that, really not too sure. I kind of want, I guess you could say a little bit both. I don't like either presidential candidate, but I do kind of like certain policies that they do make. But altogether, I would say probably in a country where we make a little bit more money, taxed a little bit less, and yeah.
so like like how would you think that will affect the global sustainability through cutting back taxes? Do you think that's higher our debt? Make our debt higher?
Um, I don't. I really know how I feel about our country's debt due to the fact that I don't see how we're so in debt, but we keep sending other countries more money.
So technically, we can't be in debt, right?
And there, I kind of feel that way.
We can't be in debt if we keep making debt,
Yeah,
because you gotta have debt to make debt.
exactly. You gotta have money to make debt.
Yeah. So man, so like as we do elaborate with the next question. So if you were to be sectioned out of a populated area, what would be like the biggest up thing you can like you said, you're from a small town, correct? So like like what could you give them that other people do not receive yet?
Representation.
So like accountability.
Well, no, so not sort of, because I mean, you can't really give them accountability. You can't go to each necessarily person and be like, hey, hold yourself to this standard. It's just more so on the person. The only thing you can really do is show a person that there is a way, and the rest will follow.
Okay, so you're saying, so let me give you another statement. So what I mean by that is that, so say if an airlines comes to you with a proposition of making, just say roughly 200,000 a year, being an AMP. So you don't think you have a more say so than an individual who works at McDonald's and makes less than 30,000?
I probably do financially, yeah, but then also it kind of depends on what you're doing with my money. Because if you throw your money down on, I guess, a well, not necessarily. You actually have less of a voice than the person that's maintaining 30,000 actually doing something with it.
Okay, so the next question. So do you think it's just based on how we spend our money? And what I mean by that is that like like the higher your expenses, the more money you should make.
Can you repeat the question?
I said, so the question is like, so do you think it's true that the more money you make, the more money you spend, and the more your living expenses go up? So like, why is that possible? So,
well, I guess why is it possible is because like how we just talked about the debt and everything that goes on within the government that's not truly explained to us. But then also, as far as that, yeah, I definitely think you make more. I mean, it's like work hard, play hard, I guess in that kind of reference. But then too, I mean, I think it kind of boils down to what you're spending your money on. Because if we're constantly spending our money on things that are imported, we're constantly taxed. I mean, you can't help but for taxes to go up. But then also, I feel like the more that we spend our money on importing goods, so that to maybe tax should go down because it's used more.
so you're saying we spend our money on things that we usually don't need,
Yes.
or we spend it because we have it?
Yeah.
Do you think they kind of go back and forth? Because like iPhones and Android. In this culture, we love iPhone. So why do we buy it if it's out of our budget, if it's too expensive, if we just follow the hype? Do you think because we just follow the next person?
Yeah, the height. I mean, yep.
Because a phone, it all works the same. Android can FaceTime now. So what is the big difference between this community and the next community? Do you think it was section out?
I think it just depends on what your values are within that community. Because what might work for us may not work for the next country. May not have the sustainability to do what we do.
Okay, so as we do elaborate with the next question, man. So like, what is like the biggest uplink you've seen in your lifetime? So like, what I mean by that is that like, what is the biggest achievement you've seen since your lifetime?
For myself or within our country?
In our country and for yourself.
It's a good question. I don't have an answer.
So let me elaborate. So like it can be something you done in your life, like your daughter. That's a good accomplishment. The country. Where we're able to not say it's a revolution. Like stuff like that.
I mean, I guess you could say, but I mean, it's kind of one brewing a little bit, but it's just, I feel like it's a lot of social media driven, to be honest.
So do you think social media is like a wave of just fakeness?
Yes, very much so.
Because people won't post their last dollar. Like I got $2, but I'm gonna post next week with $100,000 prop
Protection.
money. Because like, and I never understood why people be so quick to believe whatever they read on social media or look at. Because me personally, I go off government documentation websites. I go off official websites. If the website don't say we got school, then we have school. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that.
So as we do elaborate with the question, man. So like, let me ask you again. So like, what is the biggest thing you've seen since your lifetime?
As far as that shit, like I said, going back towards the country, I've seen us spend more money as far as bringing up the homelessness. I've lived in Missouri, I've lived in Arizona for a little bit, and I've lived in Virginia. So I feel like I got a little nice diversity as far as that. I feel like we've invested more money as far as taking care of our own people. I feel like we're investing more money into taking care of our veterans, which is to have more people, but yeah, just investing more.
So like, why does many Americans say that we are declining as a country, but we do better than other countries?
I mean, everything's about perspective. But just because you're on a ship, don't mean just because you're on a sinking ship, it didn't tell you how fast it's sinking.
See, that's a great analogy. See, like I said, man. So let's do elaborate with the next question. So like, where do you actually see yourself a year from now?
A year from now,
And like, get like more in depth.
well, like I said, hopefully here with at least one of my licenses, and on the side, I want to be able to, I guess, get a partnership or an internship with Southwest, because I already work at Dallas Love Field, so I have a good relationship with the operational manager there. So that's what.
And let me tell you about myself real quick, man. So, I walked in this industry as the pilot side, because my last school I went to be a drone pilot and also become a commercial pilot. The reason I came here to become on the maintenance side was only so I can be able to know how to properly understand what's missing in the components of an airplane. So like I said, you can't understand how to do something if you don't know the cause, root, and the basis of it. Like you can learn how to drive a car, but if your car catches a flat, you have to pay someone and basically enter a third man party. So basically eliminate the third man. So that's the reason I'm in this industry. And plus, it's a good industry to get in. Money to be made. You can walk out of this place making $100,000 a year. Literally 22 months. Just say if you fail a class, you gotta wait. Just say 2 years and probably 3 months. So technically, man, so like I said, like, where can they find you here? Like Instagram, TikTok, social media?
Shit, you can find me at king.rook. That's my Instagram. You can find me on Twitter at rookie3421. Those are all my socials.
So as we do like I with this question, man, like make sure you guys like, follow, share, comment, stay engaged, tap that screen, be posted in. This is season 5, episode 5. As we do with the next question, man. Like I said, keep tuned in, like, follow, share, comment, stay engaged. This is season 5, episode 5. As we elaborate, this is another one on the series. And until next time, you guys, peace out.